Cheese my berry pie. Cool drink of water, such a sweet surprise. Smells so good, makes a grown man cry. Sweet berry pie. Hi, my name is Tommy and you are watching Nordic Fragrance. Welcome. Today we are going to review a fragrance that is called Individuel. It's from the German pan company Mont Blanc. If you are at all into fragrances, I'm sure you have already heard about this fragrance. It has gotten some real hype over the years and it's a really good one actually. I'm going to go really in depth with this fragrance today and tell you guys what this fragrance is all about. But as always, let's first start with a closer look at the bottle and the presentation of this fragrance. Okay, so the bottle of Mont Blanc Individuel is a transparent glass bottle where you can easily see how much juice you have left in it. It's kind of oval shaped, as you can see. It says Mont Blanc Individuel here on the front. There's a plastic cap on the top, not magnetic or anything. And the sprayer distributes okay, a pretty wide mist. Not that great, but it does its job anyway. It's okay. For the box, it's a silver box. It says Mont Blanc and Individuel here on the front. Nothing special about this one either. But overall, it's an okay presentation of this fragrance. Individuel by Mont Blanc was released in 2003 and it only comes in two sizes, 50 and 75 ml. Okay, so how does this fragrance smell then? People that have smelled this fragrance will tell you that it's a fruity, sweet fragrance. That is actually not entirely accurate. It is sweet, that is true, but it's not entirely fruity because the main notes that you get from this one is raspberry, juniper berry, there is some pineapple in this one too. And all the notes that I just mentioned aren't actually fruits, they are berries. Oh wait, you just said pineapple, didn't you? Yeah, well, pineapple is actually technically a berry too. So I would more describe this fragrance as a sweet berry fragrance actually. With the most prominent note being the raspberry that kind of lays on top of a more sweet foundation, if you will. Many people also compare Mont Blanc Individuel to this one, Homme. That was a very famous fragrance it was released back in 1989, I think. This one was revolutionary back in the days because it was a very sweet men's fragrance. Sweet men's fragrances may be quite common today, but back in 1989 it was quite unusual actually. Back then there was those powerhouse 80s fragrances with very little sweetness in them. So this one, Homme, really revolutionized men's fragrances back in 1989. But what differs those two fragrances from each other is that this is actually a fruity, sweet fragrance. And that is pretty much all it is. It's fruity and it's sweet, and that's what you get from it. Mont Blanc Individuel, on the other hand, is much more balanced in my opinion. It got the sweetness, it got the berries, but it's also balanced with a good dose of herbs and flowers that makes it just a much more fresher and cleaner and nicer fragrance than Homme in my opinion. Now let's put this one away and concentrate on this one. So you actually get a lot of flowers and herbs in this one. You get patchouli, you get orange blossom, jasmine, violet, lavender, rosemary. A lot of good notes that really balances the sweetness out a little and gives it a well-needed freshness too. The most prominent of those flowery herbal notes is the lavender and the patchouli, of course. And on top of the berries, the sweetness, the floweriness, you also get a bit of spices in the form of cinnamon and vanilla. So as you can hear, there is a lot going on in this fragrance. And this fragrance is really so much more than a Homme clone. But to sum this fragrance up shortly, it's basically a sweet raspberry fragrance. That's the main thing you get from this one, sweet raspberry. With some added freshness from the patchouli and the lavender. And a good dose of vanilla and cinnamon also to spice things up a little. To my nose, it's a very pleasant and very well blended fragrance. Let's get into more of that next and start with the ratings of Mont Blanc Individuel. Okay, so what's my opinion on Mont Blanc Individuel? I really do enjoy this fragrance a lot. It is very sweet, but it's not overly sweet, if you get what I mean. It's very well balanced with the freshness from the flowers and the herbs in it. I do find this fragrance a bit classy and sophisticated also. I think it's mainly because of the lavender in this one. And I actually placed Mont Blanc Individuel on first place on my slightly dressed up occasions fragrance list. If you want to check out that video, I will leave a link in the description of this video down below so you can check it out. It's a really good list. So I think this one smells really great. Sweet, sophisticated, well balanced. Overall just a good fragrance, and it's well worth the hype it has gotten over the years. I give Mont Blanc Individuel a rating of 8.5. Next up is the girlfriend's rating, and we always want to get an opinion from a woman too. She thought it smelled nice, but she said in her own words, there's nothing special about it really. Nothing that sticks out, nothing that makes it one of the best fragrances that she has smelled in my collection. So she liked it, but to her nose it was nothing special, and she gave it a rating of 7.5. Next up is the strength rating, and this fragrance performs really well. Most of the times I get about 8 to 10 hours out of it, with really good projection for the first 3 to 4 hours. That's better performance than you can expect from most designer fragrances, so I'm really pleased with this one. However, there is an issue with this one. Sometimes, rarely, but sometimes when I spray this one, I can hardly smell it at all. At first I thought it was just my olfactory nose that couldn't pick up the notes. But I had my girlfriend try to smell it, and she couldn't smell it either. So I don't know what's going on with this one, but sometimes when you spray it, there's just nothing. However, as I mentioned before, that seldom happens. It's like once every 20 sprays or something, you get like nothing out of it. All of the other times, it performs perfectly. But it is really strange, and I have never had this happen with any other fragrance. But most of the time, 8 to 10 hours with really good projection gives it a strength rating of 8. So next up is the Versatility Rating. This is a sweet fragrance, so it's best suited for fall, winter and early spring, I would say. Although there is a bit of freshness in it, it's not really suitable in the summertime. But it is a very versatile fragrance in my opinion anyway. You can use it casually, you can certainly use it dressed up. Because of the very nice lavender in this one, it makes it a little bit sophisticated. Not suit and tie dressed up maybe, but you know, slightly dressed up if you're going to a birthday party or something. And this is just perfect. It got just the right balance of sweet playfulness and sophisticated elegance. This is also suitable in an office setting as long as you go easy on the trigger, because it do project a lot in the beginning. And it's sweet enough to be appreciated by the younger crowd, and sophisticated enough to be appreciated by the older crowd as well. So I see really no age limit to using this fragrance. This is a fragrance for every man at every age. So versatility is really good on Mont Blanc Individuel, and I give it a versatility rating of 8. Lastly, we have the price rating, and you have to pay about 30 euros or $35 for a 75 ml bottle of this one. That's the biggest size it comes in. Now that is a really good price, especially considering what a great use you get for the money. So this is a really great fragrance at a really affordable price, and I give it a price rating of 9. So, would I recommend you guys watching this to buy or at least test Mont Blanc Individuel? Yes, of course I would. I don't really have to say much about this. This is a great fragrance at a great price. Sweet, playful, yet elegant and sophisticated, all in one bottle. With great performance and good projection as well. If you're looking for really good, affordable fragrances, then this one is one of the best you can get on the market today. So it's a no-brainer, just get this one. I'm sure you will be pleased with it. At least I am. So that was my review of Individuel by Mont Blanc. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and share this video, and if you want to support me and never miss a future video or top list, then please click the subscribe button. And until we meet again, go frag yourselves.